Over 35 million albums sold worldwide, and over 50 billion streams across platforms. Few artists can claim numbers like that. Yet Snoop Dogg began with nothing more than a beat playing out of a boombox on a sunbaked street corner in Long Beach, California. Picture a 14-year-old named Calvin Brodus Jr. weaving through traffic on his skateboard, headphones clamped over his ears, listening to Parliament Funkadelic and NWA. His neighborhood pulsed with music and tension. The bass of car stereos mixing with police sirens. The laughter of friends mingling with shouts from rival gangs. Every day felt like a battle for attention, respect, and survival. But young Calvin found freedom in rhythm. He practiced rapping in his bedroom mirror, mimicking the smooth flow of his heroes and dreaming of a stage far from the cracks in the pavement. When he wasn't in school, he was scribbling lyrics on scraps of paper, tapping out beats on his desk with pencils, or recording makeshift demos on a borrowed tape deck. Then came the moment that changed everything. In the early 90s, a local DJ pressed a demo of The Chronic into the hands of Dr. Dre. Fresh off his split from NWA, Dre listened to Snoop's effortless delivery, laid back yet razor-sharp, and saw a star in the making. Overnight, Calvin transformed into Snoop Dogg, the silky-voiced MC whose first appearance on The Chronic electrified the rap scene. Suddenly, the same streets that tested his resolve became the backdrop for a global phenomenon. His debut album, Doggy Style, shot straight to #1 on the Billboard charts in 1993, fueled by hits like Gin and Juice and Who Am I, What's My Name. Music videos played on MTV, radio DJs couldn't stop spinning his tracks, and fashion bandanas, oversized jerseys, and sneakers took cues from his unmistakable style. Yet for all his success, Snoop's journey was never smooth. Legal troubles, feuds within hip-hop, and the pressures of fame threatened to sideline him. Instead, he adapted, reinventing his sound, embracing film and television roles, launching a cannabis brand, and even hosting cooking shows with Martha Stewart. Each reinvention introduced Snoop to new audiences, helping him rack up those staggering album sales and streaming numbers. How did a kid from Long Beach streets evolve into a cultural icon with billions of listens? In the next part, we'll trace Snoop Dogg's path step by step from his early days in West Coast rap, through the trials that tested him, to the savvy moves that turned him into a global beatmaker, entrepreneur, and enduring symbol of reinvention. Snoop Dogg's rise was built on the streets of Long Beach and the booming West Coast sound he helped create. A rough neighborhood and early beats. Calvin Brodus Jr. grew up in a neighborhood marked by gang activity and tension. His parents divorced when he was young, and he moved between homes with relatives. School felt like a refuge, but playground fights and police cars were never far away to escape. Calvin discovered music. He listened to funk legends like Parliament Funkadelic. Then to the harder edge of NWA, he learned how the deep bass and tight beats echoed his own life's ups and downs. In his teens, he joined the Rollin' Twenties Crips, a local set of the Crips gang. But even amid that violence, he carried a pen and paper in his pocket, writing rhymes in the back of class or on cardboard scraps at home. He called himself Snoop Doggy Dogg after his favorite cartoon dog, Snoopy. When he rapped, his voice was slow and smoothly laid back, as he said. His lyrics mixed street stories with humor, clever wordplay, and a deep groove, meeting Dr. Dre and The Chronic. In 1992, Snoop's demo tape found its way to Dr. Dre, the former NWA producer who had just left the group. Dre was looking for a fresh voice to bring to his new solo album, The Chronic. When he heard Snoop's silky flow over G-funk beat synth chords, heavy bass, slow tempo, he knew he had found a star. On the song Deep cover, Snoop introduced himself. It's 187 on an undercover cop. That dark opening lyric and Snoop's effortless delivery created instant buzz, Doggy Style, and instant stardom. In November 1993, Snoop released his debut album, Doggy Style, produced by Dre. The record shot to #1 on the Billboard charts, the first debut album ever to do so. Hit singles like Gin and Juice painted vivid pictures of backyard barbecues, late-night parties, and the promise of sipping on gin and juice under palm trees. Who Am I, What's My Name introduced his catchy nickname Hook. Music videos: Snoop in baggy jeans, a bandana tied low, gold chains glinting, played non-stop on MTV and BET. Snoop's style was as important as his music. He wore Pendleton flannel shirts, Timberland boots, and lowrider cars rolled on hydraulics. His look reflected Long Beach culture, and fans copied it everywhere from Los Angeles to London. Fashion brands and magazines took notice, inviting him to photo shoots and red carpet events. Trials, legal trouble, and reinvention. Success did not mean calm waters. In 1993, Snoop faced a murder charge for a fight in Los Angeles. He went to trial, and in 1996 he was acquitted of all charges. The stress of court and the threat of prison forced him to grow up fast. He used that time to write new music, drawing on his own fear and determination. His 1996 album The Dogfather was more mature. He experimented with funk samples, less violent lyrics, and a smoother production style. Snoop also navigated battles within hip-hop. East Coast rappers criticized West Coast G-funk for glorifying gangs. Snoop responded with respect and diplomacy, avoiding public feuds when possible. He appeared on tracks with Puff Daddy and the Notorious B.I.G., showing that music could bridge rival coasts, expanding into film, television, and business. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Snoop began acting. He appeared in films like Training Day and Soul Plane, always playing versions of himself, smooth, confident, funny. He co-hosted TV shows, judged singing contests, and lent his voice to cartoons. In 2008, he signed with Universal Records and released Ego Trippin', exploring reggae and R&B influences. Snoop's business ventures grew too. He launched Leafs by Snoop, a legal cannabis brand, tapping into his well-known affinity for marijuana. He introduced Martha and Snoop's Potluck Dinner Party, with Martha Stewart, a cooking show mixing high culture and hip-hop humor that earned Emmy nominations. His YouTube channels, podcast, and social media presence turned him into a digital influencer with millions of followers. Global ambassador of hip-hop. Today, over 35 years after his first demos, Snoop Dogg remains a bridge between generations. He toured the world, headlining festivals from Coachella to Glastonbury, performing classic hits and new collaborations with pop, reggae, and electronic artists. He mentors young rappers, shares life lessons on podcasts, and supports youth programs in Long Beach and beyond. Snoop's development shows that talent alone is never enough. He combined raw street experience with disciplined craft, writing lyrics nightly, studying beats, and embracing each new challenge. He turned trials into creativity, legal battles into lessons, and fame into platforms for business and charity. His journey from gang member to global icon proves that reinvention is possible, when you stay true to your roots. Keep an open mind and never stop creating. Snoop Dogg's influence soon extended far beyond the recording studio. After surviving a high-profile murder trial in 1996 and channeling his relief into the funk-infused sounds of the Dogfather, he began exploring new creative outlets. He landed memorable roles in films like Training Day, proving he could command the screen just as effortlessly as the mic, and launched Doggy Style Records to mentor emerging artists who shared his West Coast roots. At the same time, he forged unlikely collaborations that bridged genres and generations, from laying down reggae vocals with Bunny Wailer to popping up on pop anthems alongside Katy Perry, demonstrating that his smooth delivery and keen sense of rhythm knew no boundaries. Embracing his role as a cultural ambassador, Snoop invested in business ventures that reflected his personal passions. His partnership with Major League Soccer's LA Galaxy helped raise the sport's profile in the United States, while Leafs by Snoop brought his long-held love of cannabis into a pioneering line of premium products. Even his candid friendship with Martha Stewart on Martha and Snoop's potluck dinner party turned heads and broke stereotypes, blending urban flair and domestic warmth into a show that won Emmy nominations and grew into a pop culture phenomenon. Through each pivot from chart-topping albums to silver screen turns, from sports fields to kitchens, Snoop Dogg has shown that true creative power lies in the ability to reinvent oneself without losing sight of where you came from. Snoop Dogg's journey illustrates the power of authenticity, adaptability, and the relentless creative spirit. From those first moments rapping over G-Funk beats in Long Beach to selling out stadiums around the globe, he has shown that success in music can be just the first verse of a much larger song. On stage and on record, Snoop's smooth, laid-back flow introduced millions to the sound of West Coast hip-hop. His debut album, Doggy Style, didn't just top the charts, it defined a generation's soundtrack, with classics like Gin and Juice and Who Am I, What's My Name still echoing on playlists today. But Snoop never let his initial fame confine him. When legal troubles threatened to silence his voice, he turned hardship into art, releasing The Dogfather with a renewed focus on funk and self-reflection. Outside the booth, Snoop embraced every opportunity to expand his influence. His acting roles, ranging from gritty dramas like Training Day to family-friendly animations, proved he could cross genres as fluidly as he crosses beats. His partnership with Martha Stewart on Potluck Dinner Party shattered expectations, showing that creativity and camaraderie can bridge the widest cultural divides. In entrepreneurship, he pioneered celebrity-led cannabis branding with Leafs by Snoop, and his involvement with MLS's LA Galaxy helped propel American soccer into the mainstream. Yet through every pivot, musical, cinematic, culinary, commercial, Snoop has maintained the same core authenticity that first captivated Dr. Dre. He credits his Long Beach roots for his resilience and his willingness to learn. He never stopped writing rhymes on scraps of paper or studying the art of performance. He never lost sight of the community that raised him, returning repeatedly to support youth programs, mentorship initiatives, and charitable causes. Whether hosting benefit concerts or lending his name to anti-bullying campaigns, Snoop has used his platform to uplift others, proving that real success shines brightest when shared. Today, over 3 decades into his career, Snoop Dogg stands not just as a rap legend, but as a cultural icon whose influence spans music, film, television, fashion, and philanthropy. His ability to reinvent himself without ever betraying the smooth-tongued rapper from Long Beach offers a blueprint for lasting relevance. Stay curious, embrace change, work hard, and remain true to your roots. As you reflect on Snoop Dogg's story, consider how his example might guide your own path. Whether you're pursuing creative projects, business ventures, or community work, remember that resilience in the face of adversity and the courage to explore new arenas can transform a single passion into a lifetime of impact. I have 3 special questions for you. 1. Which phase of Snoop Dogg's career from Doggy Style to his culinary shows resonates with you most, and why? 2. How might the ability to reinvent yourself, like Snoop has done, benefit your own personal or professional life? 3. In what ways can you use your talents or platform to support your community, drawing inspiration from Snoop's charitable efforts?
If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me make more stories for you.